Hey, how is everyone doing? This will be one of them videos that may not even get posted because I don't know if I can do it. Um, it's not going to be edited. I ain't got time to do that. But someone asked about adding wheels. I'll kind of get into that a little if I can. Try to see if I can explain it. Um, I know this is not really something that shows you anything. Just know if you got a wheel. Like say there's two wheels back here, one here and one here, and you got these two nodes, right? And one's named one thing and one's named the other thing. Well, what's going to determine um, it's going to determine like you know how you take a bicycle wheel off the back tire, or no, the front tire rather, and you know how if you hold the bicycle wheel by the two little nuts that you tighten, to put it back in the forks. Those little things that you could hold them and someone could spin the wheel. You know what I'm talking about? Well, that's like what these two things specify. Basically, like what holds the wheel. And if it's not a wheel that turns, it's just gonna have two. If it's got a if it's gonna turn because it's like a steering type of wheel, it's gonna have a third one. So, which that'll be connected to a hydro, I believe, how it works. But just focusing on these two here, you got to tell it a group name. So like that's wheel number 3, for example, and that's where those two nodes are located. Their X, Y, and Z positions. All right. Now, what makes the wheel actually appear on there is in the section, and believe me, I copy and paste this stuff. I don't know it all. I can't remember all that stuff. I couldn't even tell you the first word of the section of code, what the hell it is. I just couldn't do it. I don't have that kind of memory. So there it is. That's the first word. Pressure wheels. So this thing tells it the different size of the wheels, the offset, hub width, number of raises. Think of subdivisions. How many subdivisions does a wheel have? That's how smooth it would be. The more the number, the more smooth. Like 3 would be a triangle, for example, a triangle wheel. So, so then you come down to this part, and what this basically is what that's saying. So what's the name? Well, sticking to what the developers say, I just stick to their naming scheme. Front left, front right, rear left, rear right. I mean, if you had another rear right, maybe RRR, I don't know. I guess it would work, but I'm just sticking to what they say to stick to. I didn't try to experiment further. And so this is the name, which corresponds to uh, the group. So it's like, oh, okay, so these are going to represent group 3. Yeah. And so go back down. I like Notepad++ better because you can put little balls, like a little dot here, and then easily get back to it by hitting F2. So you can get back and forth real quick. I'm going to scroll through. But anyway, so that's the name wheel 3. Then you got the CR2 to CV0. I mean CVR2, CVL0. That's just what the nodes are named, what I happen to name them. You could name them you could put different letter prefixes. It don't have to be CV. You could put something else. Just whatever it was at the time, this is what I was sticking with. It helped me remember. I think I did AV, BV, CV, DV. Is like a naming thing, and then the L and the R, just left, right, and the number. But don't worry about all that. Just look at the one that's first, the one that's on the outside, CVL0. So CVL0 would come second. So the way it's naming these is like this one first, that one second. The 9999 is basically saying ignore. It's not using this node S. This used to be like a stabilizer node, but they don't use that anymore, I believe. So they just put 9999 to ignore it. And then CV1 would be if it was a steering mesh. Now you see there's no third one up here as there is on the front. See the front BV BVR2 would be the inside, BVL0 would be the outside, and BVL1 would be the center. And you see these red lines? These are the hydros. So when you turn the steering, it pushes that one that way. Or if you push the steering the other way, it pushes that node that direction. So that's what turns the wheel. And that's just kind of stabilized to the frame, that center one there. That's just the way I did it. That probably ain't the best way because that wheel doesn't work very well. You know what I mean? It's not a good wheel. It works. It's probably not the best way to do it, you know. So you can see that I don't have the third one here. And if you look at the nodes, if I go back to the nodes, you'll see that CV1 there is completely missing. I put a bracket in a bracket which tells it to ignore that line of code. Oh, I am in Notepad++. I realized what I did. I got it open in both of them. So yeah. So let's try using this. Let's take the pickup truck. That's a good one to experiment with. I don't know if I can do this. I'll try. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. So we'll go to where the game's installed. Content, vehicles, pickup. I always like using a pickup because that's the one that loads when I load the game. So if I'm experimenting on a car, I don't have to go load something else. I mean, it's going to load right in when the game loads. So this folder that contains all this stuff, we'll copy it to the clipboard. And we'll go to the user folder in vehicles and paste it in here. Now, I'll load another Beam editor. And the pickup here, I'll import in the frame. That's the most sturdy thing if you're going to attach something to something. It's the sturdiest thing to attach to. Now this little nifty little trick here I use. I'll import the truck's frame, body, all that stuff into Blender, the DAE that's in there. So if I go to vehicles, pick up the DAE, import it as a collider. Oh yeah, damn it, I did it again. Son of a bitch. I always do that shit. I get to talking and don't realize I overwrite the damn thing instead of importing I export. Overwrite it. Damn it. I'll get it again. Should just be the DAE that I need, that I just screwed up. Should be all I need out of it. I can't believe I I do that every damn time. All right, let's try it again. Import. So what I'm going to do is attach everything together. Now, there's other variations of the body styles. There's a long extended. There's the other one, the regular one. I mean, I guess it depends on which one you got in mind. You can delete a lot of the stuff that you know you're not going to use. If you know you're not using all these camper shells, you know. I mean, I'm pretty much only really focused on where the wheels go and stuff. So but I don't want to have to spend a long time weeding through all this stuff. So what I'll do is I'll just join what's in here now together. Now this is just one solid mesh. I'll export it as a OBJ on the desktop. Now inside of that editor program, I can import the DAE into here. I'm sorry, import the OBJ, import reference mesh from OBJ. So I can go to the desktop now and select it, import it in, and it'll show a silhouette, kind of like a ghost, of where the DAE is, the model in the game. So you can see how the frame sits in there, and where the axle and all that stuff is. So when you're adding to the mod, you're going to add a wheel or something, you got a little reference to go by. You at least can see what you're doing to some extent. So there's a script in here that you can run, a Lua script that's for live axle, and you can tell it the width, the hub width, and the node prefix. I'm pretty sure they probably already use AXL in the game, and this was back when I was making the CV1, DV1. I think that's just what I just named like DV or NW for new wheel. I don't know, just something, so it's got something different, unique about it. Now, axle. Oh, let me do it like this.